Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey guys.
Welcome back to the travel tip series, episode 3 now.
Three.
So today's going to be car hire tips. Again, through America, but you can take this pretty much wherever you want because it's quite general information. On our first trip to America, we didn't follow this. We've learned these little tips through those trips. And I wish we had known it because we would have saved literally hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, and time as well.
Lots of time. So,
driving rather than flying. Anyway.
Yeah. So a lot of the time we actually drive to America if it's a nice short trip, anything under like 8 hours. I know that's not short, but we just...
I think our longest was 11
It was, yeah. And we split it across 2 days, have a little stop off.
Yeah.
That's just what we like to do. We see a bit more of the country instead of just flying in an aeroplane.
Yeah.
But first tip, location of your pick up and drop off. Now on our first trip, I was just picking up and dropping off at airports because that's where I thought you would get your car hire because that's kind of where the big car hire places are. Now you're going to get a huge range there, but you're going to get a big range at the smaller ones as well. Now, I don't mean smaller companies. For example, we use Alamo a lot. They're very seamless and useful. We've used them in America a lot and in Australia. Now, first trip, we were in Anaheim. We were staying in Anaheim and I got Uber all the way back to LAX, which is like 45 minutes on good traffic
Yeah.
to pick up the car to drive back to Anaheim. On our second trip, I walked down the road 700 meters and I got from the same company. So much easier. Think about where you're picking up, where you're dropping off. Because generally, there's probably going to be a car hire place. If you're in the middle of the city or in the middle of a main area, you're probably going to be a few kilometers, a few miles away from the company you want to be with.
Yeah.
Now, we try and find our best deal. So second tip is find the best deal. I know that seems obvious, but when we went from first trip, LA to Vegas, I really wanted to do that trip in like an American muscle car. So I went into our local travel shop before we were doing all of our own bookings and I said, hey, that's what I want to do. LA, Vegas, can you find me a price? Yeah, no worries. They called me in the afternoon. $700 for a one-way 4-hour trip. And I just went, no, don't worry about
I think
it.
that was a Mustang as well, wasn't it?
No, it was a Camaro. Yeah. So I was like, nah, don't worry about it. I will just drive a little bubble car, whatever it is. Anyway, so jumped on Expedia, again, where we always book all of our trips. Did the car hire search. And what came up? A Mustang for $97. No one-way fee, so keep an eye on one-way fees. Some companies do charge them. Unlimited kilometers. Some companies charge you a certain number of kilometers or you've got a limit. And it's exactly what I wanted. So we booked it, $100, got the trip. It was great, brand new Mustang. It was awesome. And I thought, oh yeah, it's probably gonna be like the low-end model, the cheap model, base model, whatever. No, it wasn't. It was the top model.
That was so cool.
It was great, convertible, everything. So don't always worry about what your travel agent will say. That's why we're doing these videos so you can do it yourself, save you some money and get what you want.
Yeah, definitely.
Now tip 3, kind of car. So our last trip, there was 4 of us. Myself, Brooke, and 2 of our really close friends. So we got bigger cars because we had a lot more baggage to take with us. But a lot of the time, unless we're trying to get a specific car like a Mustang or a Dodge or whatever to do a little trip, we'll get the cheapest car we can because it's still going to be a new car. You're not going to turn up and get like a 1991 piece of rubbish. They're going to give you a very, very new car. So,
and usually we just get things like Toyota Camrys or...
Yep, something comfy, something new, something with GPS,
chuck your baggage in
whatever.
the back if you need to, if there's not enough room in the boot.
Yep.
Away you go.
A lot of cars have GPS, but I'll cover that on another tip. But yeah, just think about the reason you're getting the car. Are you getting it because you want to drive a cool car? Because you can do that too.
Yeah.
Or are you getting it because you want to get to from A to B?
Yeah.
So for us, usually we've got 4 bags. At least halfway through the trip, we've got 4 big bags. And you need to get them in the car. You got back seats. There's just the 2 of you. Even if it's 2-door, you've got back seats. So it says, oh, you can only fit 1 suitcase in the boot. Yeah, you can, but you got back seats. So chuck it in there. Doesn't bother you.
And just another little tip as well. I've just noticed when Adam looks through car hire, he usually scrolls through a lot of the pages before he gets to good deals. Usually the top ones are more expensive, so don't just think they're all going to be that price. Scroll down and look at each of the different car hire companies, because generally the prices change and are a lot cheaper as you go along.
They really do. Now you've got in, for example, Expedia. I'll use that as the example because we will continue using that as examples, but other travel apps do the same. Look at the way it organises it, because a lot of the time it will be most relevant or best deal or whatever, but it's best deal for what they're going to get, you know, the company's going to get kind of thing. If you don't go prices low to high, you're going to get the cheapest one on the top. And that's what I always do now. As Brooke said, I'd have to scroll all the time in the past. So now I just go cheapest to most expensive. And if you just want a cheap car, you'll get it. You know, $50 for 2 days, that's nothing.
And another thing that we've done as well is we've reserved the cars, because generally you reserve them as well. You don't necessarily have to pay up front. And then we'll notice a few weeks later that a different car or, you know, a different deal is actually cheaper. So we just cancel the reservation and then redo it again. We often change it up as we go along, and we end up saving a lot more money. Yeah,
because with Expedia and probably a lot of the other travel apps, you can cancel for free up to like 24 hours before you use the car.
Take advantage of it.
Take advantage of it. Make sure that you're hiring from the right places and so on and so forth. Okay, so tip 4 is going to be free upgrades. Now, if you use the same company a lot, so we use Alamo a lot, well, this is one of the reasons we do. So once you've used them once, they hammer you with deals. Hey, your next hire, you get a free upgrade, blah, blah, blah. So you could go and get a really cheap car, turn up, hey, I've got a free upgrade, and they just go, yeah, no worries, chuck it in. You've just got upgraded. You've got a car worth twice the price for nothing.
Well, the last trip we went on when we were with our friends, we had hired an SUV to drive from San Diego to Vegas. But we ended up getting an upgrade of like this massive car. What was the car? It was like
a Chevy Tahoe. It is huge.
It's the biggest car I've ever been in. Like I'm talking like you couldn't even reach the other person next to you.
The back seat was literally like a couch.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And that was all because of upgrades, because of the amount of times we've used them.
Yeah, it was free. So take advantage of your free upgrades. And tip number 5, get in early. So if you're hiring your car at like 9 a.m, so the place opens at 8, get there at 9 a.m. Don't wait. You know, you could get in at 11. They're not going to care. You're still going to pay the same price. But if you get in early, you can find, now I don't guarantee this, but it has worked for us in the past, you can find that a lot of people that are hiring cars, generally on holiday, are sleeping in. So they haven't taken their cheap car back. Now the hire company isn't going to say to you, sorry, it's not here, go and sit down and wait. No, they're going to go, I'm really sorry we don't have that car.
It's a free upgrade.
Would you like a free upgrade? And it has happened a number of times.
It has.
We've gone in for like a little 2-door bubble car.
Free nothing.
Yeah, and we've ended up leaving with like a Chrysler 300, you know, something, a nice luxury sedan. Because all they've got.
So good.
It's been great. So it can benefit you a lot to get in early.
Yeah.
Get in, on your walk there, grab your coffee, and you might bang yourself a deal. So.
And sometimes as well, this time was a little bit different depending on the cost, but you can actually do 24 hours of a reservation rather than pick up at 9, drop off at 6 o'clock at night. You can generally do 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. the next day, even though you don't need it. It just means that you don't have to necessarily drop it off to the next morning, or you're not having to rush for a certain time. And it's often exactly the same price. So
they book in 24-hour blocks. So if you're hiring it for 3 hours because you're trying to save money, generally
hire it for the whole day.
Hire it for the whole day. Hire it for 8 hours. Just because you could be driving there and see something that, oh, let's stop off for lunch there. Oh no, we've only got an hour left to get the car back.
Obviously you don't have to drop it off exactly at the time that you said you would. If it's hours beforehand, then it's fine. But at least you've got the time if you decide to stop at a shop, which we often do, or go out for lunch, or take a quick detour, or you know, even you just can't be bothered at night because you've gotten into your hotel at 6 o'clock and you just go, oh, let's just drop it off the next morning before we go out somewhere.
That's it. You might hit traffic and you're way out of time. You don't know. So if you can extend the time for free, do it.
Exactly.
Book those 24 hours and save yourself a bit of stress. Okay, so tip number 6, GPS. So in the past, we've gone, no, we don't need GPS. Yeah, we do. We don't know the country, we don't know where we're going, and we try to not put our phones on roaming. Just for a couple of reasons. You know, you don't have to worry about your phone, so you're more involved in the holiday, things like that. So our phones are kind of useless. Now, first trip, we didn't get GPS, struggled. I think it was the first car we didn't get GPS. The rest of them we did because we struggled so much in the first
How
car.
did we even get around? I can't even remember. But
It was a mission. So then we got GPSs, and then on the last trip we actually learned another thing. So you can either get a GPS. I don't know if it's with every company, but at least with Alamo it is. I would say they're all offering the same thing. You can get Wi-Fi in the car. So what they actually do is they give you a tablet. It looks just like a phone, and it's got its own Wi-Fi. So the best thing about that is, number one, it's a GPS. Number two, you connect your phone to that Wi-Fi. So if you're driving along and you're going, oh, I'm a bit peckish, I want something to eat, you jump on your phone, restaurants near me, I don't know, Taco Bell near me, whatever you want to find out.
That was generally the way.
That was always my search because we don't have it here.
I remember the last time that we were driving back into LA as well from San Francisco, the traffic was really bad. Like, I think because the fires were happening in California, so we had to detour really massively. And if it wasn't for the fact that we had Wi-Fi in the car, for me to go onto my GPS on my phone and find a different route other than the one we were on, it would have just taken us so long to get home. So
yeah, it would have, because there were so many roadblocks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little bit more expensive. I think it's like, for example, $15 for a GPS. It's like $21 for the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's not that much more.
The extra $5, 100% worth it, because you can find extra stuff anyway. And like we just said in one of the other tips, if you hired your car for a 24-hour block, or you needed it for 3, but you hired it for 12 hours, and all you're wanting to do is go from A to B, go to sleep, whatever, and you're just cruising that trip, you can find some really awesome things on your way because you've got that Wi-Fi there. So definitely go the Wi-Fi option. Or if you're just trying to save dollars, go the GPS. You need at least the GPS if you haven't got the roaming on your phone. Otherwise, yeah, your phone company's gonna love you, but your wallet's not. So,
That's true.
Save it in like that. But yeah, that's our car hire tips for this video. So again, comment down below what you want to see, and like and subscribe.
And again, like we have said before, just take everything we say as just our opinion, our experience. Obviously, everyone's going to have a different experience, but hopefully it helps you out a bit when you plan your trip.
Yep, we're not guaranteeing any of this stuff. We're just giving you things that we have learned. Helpful tips.
Yeah.
Take it how you will, but hopefully these are helpful to the majority of you.
Yeah. Bye.
See you guys.